Vanes, so much is it made of his power. Do you even think about it at all? I know you're going in there to fight, but is that even in the back of your mind that you might run into something if you're a little careless?
I mean, of course, it's a fight, you know. I've ran into shots. I've ran into shots all the time, you know what I mean? Has he? We'll see how he does.
Do you think he's been tested, his chin's been tested at all from what you've seen?
I don't think it's been tested the way, you know, that I would want to test it.
You know, your only 3 losses came against, you know, elite fighters. How much confidence does that give you?
I mean, those losses came to guys that ran. If you watch those fights, I'm chasing the guys. I'm getting frustrated. The Lara, I was sprinting after Lara. You know what I mean? So those fights, I have to chase the guys. I don't have to chase Golovkin. And if you watch those fights, just watch the first round. As soon as I hit Lara with a right hand, he goes, oh shit, nope, and he starts going back away. Andrade too, as soon as I dropped him, he got up and just started to dance circles around me. And that's the thing. With Golovkin, I know that if I hit him, he has the ego that he's going to be like, shit, you know what I mean? People see him as a macho man, a big guy, he's going to come and try to, you know, we'll see. I'm going to test him for sure.
Did it surprise you that he engaged against her and he didn't run as much as he did with you? And what did you make of her victory performance over Lara?
I think he fought, you know, just like he said, Angulo times 10, that's what he did. He put the Angulo pressure on him. And, you know, Lara's legs are not the same. Lara was not the same after that fight. He wasn't the same after that.
Do you plan on staying at 160 after this fight, or do you want to stay at 54?
Well, I got to defend my titles, man. 60.
So that would be the plan then?
Probably, yeah, that's the plan.
Vanes, do you take anything? Obviously, Triple G's gone the distance his last 2 fights, Jacobs and Canelo. Do you take anything from those fights and that maybe you see you could implement?
Of course. He went to decision. You know what I mean? He went to decision and he got hit. I mean, I think it all started with Kell Brook when Kell Brook took the fight with him and he started landing some punches. Everybody was scared of the guy, but after that Kell Brook fight, people were like, let me get in there. And then Danny got in there, you know what I mean? And then finally, after all the years, Canelo's like, let me go in there now. And then he got in there, you know what I mean? And so I think that, you know, everybody is beatable on any given night. You just gotta, the best man shows up and then takes it. That's the beauty about boxing, you know, the underdog. How many people counted the underdog out and they just come and perform and they just shine, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be a great night.
Vanes, I know it's kind of a silly question, but a lot of the fans kind of felt that Gennady might have ruined the fight with Canelo, aside from the positive doping test, and Canelo felt that everything that Gennady was saying kind of pressured Anzac to take the fight where it was, and kind of it ruined the whole fight. How do you feel about that? Do you think Gennady really wanted the Canelo fight, or he kind of looked a way out of it?
I say like this: does Canelo really want the fight? You know what I mean? If he did, I mean, I just heard like he took himself out of a lot of testing. You know, if he just got caught, I mean, if God forbid, if I ever get caught eating some kind of meat, supposedly, you know, something like that, I will test myself every single day to the media, at least once a week, to show people that I'm not. You know what I mean? this is who I am. But he's not doing any of that. He's actually trying to dodge away from that. And the thing about this guy that I'm fighting, Golovkin, is a, you know, 100% pure athlete, clean athlete, 100%. I'm clean athlete, man. I never failed any of those tests. You know what I mean? And we're ready to fight. I mean, the thing with Canelo, man, I used to like the kid. You know what I mean? I'm okay with, you know, Golden Boys and Robert Diaz and stuff. They're good people. I know him. We know him. Did you spar
Canelo at some point?
Nah, Canelo doesn't want to spar with me. I mean, I was #1 for WBC for a long time when I was with Top Rank. When I fought Saul Roman, they promised me you get Canelo next, and then they gave me Lara. And then after Lara, they're like, oh, it's a rematch. It was a draw. You know what I mean? So I stopped going that way. That's why we fought Andrade, because it was like we're just gonna chase him over and over again. And now, for all these years, for him to run away from Golovkin and to fight him, and then the second fight to do something like this, it just shows that, you know, he lost. I feel like he lost the rematch.
How would have Andrade fared against Gennady, having been in there with him? How would he have fared against Gennady? I know you're in there now. It's your time, your moment, but.
Well, Andrade and, you know, excuse my language, you know, when there's fights and the fight's not going good, all you hear is like, culero, cool. That's all you're going to hear if the fight happened with Andrade, that's all you're going to hear. Mexican fans were just going to come there. You'll probably see bigger fights in the stands than you would see in the fight, because he's just going to run all night trying to outbox him and at the end say, oh, I beat him on points. That's just the way Andrade fights. He doesn't come to fight, he comes to box you and to beat you. But I do respect Andrade, his skills. if you want Mexican style fighting, it's right here. You know what I mean? You go to any gym over here in California, and they know that once you put me in the ring, I'm ready to go. I don't care who it is. I spar with heavyweights. I spar with super middleweights. I spar with Latif Coyote too. You know, so I spar with all those guys. I don't care. And Freddie Roach knew that. You know, everybody knows that.
I mean, Vanes, how is the situation that he found himself in with Gennady Golovkin? Because I know people are going to bring parallels between that fight and this fight.
Brook fought scared. I feel like Brook just went in there to see who this guy is, and he said as soon as he touches me, I feel like, my opinion, I feel like he told his coach, listen, as soon as I get my ass kicked, it's pull it. You know what I mean? We done. And watching the Brook fight, I don't even know why he stopped at the 5th round, because he was actually doing good in round number 4, and I think in round number 5 he just sat down and he just basically quit. You know what I mean? The Brook fight, I think he fought scared. I mean, if you watch round number 1, Brook is about to go down, and then Brook hits him with an uppercut, and all of a sudden you see Triple G going back, and then that's what people started to think, like, oh shit, like dude, the guy, you know what I mean? Like, we saw something, you know what I mean? I think that's where it all started.
Ron, do you feel like mentally you kind of have the advantage going into this fight, just because you weren't dealing with, is my opponent going to be there? Am I going to fight? Yeah. You know what I mean? All that, you were just training, doing what you're doing. Next thing you get the call, hey, I'm getting the fight. Let's do it.
I mean, I was thinking about it in my head, you know, like, oh, I wish, you know, they did something like that, if I can step in or something like that. And I didn't even know, man. I just got the call. I got the call. What's funny is that day I was running earlier in the morning, 6 a.m. I go running with my dad. Then I came home. I was in the bed with kids jumping all over me, and I got the call. It was so amazing, man.
Vanes, who's had the best performance against Triple G from you can see? Win, lose, even if they win or lost, but who do you think had the most effective?
I think Jacobs did. I think Jacobs did good with Triple G. He boxed him. Canelo really worked more on defense. I do like the Brook fight. I like a couple of rounds in the Brook fight. I mean, there's fights that you can pick, you know, some rounds that people do have their moments with them in fights. So I would think that Danny Jacobs' fight was a good fight. That I would say was a good fight. It was a good performance against him, because Danny, especially getting dropped by Sergio Mora, you know what I mean? Yeah. The land snake 2 fights ago, in like round 1 or 2. Fights Triple G, doesn't get dropped. Well, he gets dropped, but he gets up and goes 12 rounds with the guy. It says a lot.
So, and not taking anything away because you're going to fight him, but a lot of people think that Triple G might be on a decline. It's shown in each performance. He hasn't been as dominant. You said he was as dominant. Do you think he's on a decline, or you think it's just the styles that have got a little difficult?
No, I think styles make fights. I mean, styles do make fights. All the guys that he's fought, UK guys, you know, beer belly and stuff like that, get him in the body, they going down, you know what I mean? I do think that styles make fights, and I also do feel like he is stepping up in competition. And I think one of his step-ups was Brook, honestly, and then it was like, you know, he got to Danny Jacobs, and now Canelo was not a step-up. It was actually Canelo stepping up to fight him, finally. So I think Canelo saw something in that. So I don't see him declining. I think that, you know, it's styles make fights. I think the competition is getting better and better and better. People are working on him. They're training for him.
Stylistically, for you, who's a more difficult fight, a Triple G or a Canelo, given their styles?
Canelo will be easy work. Triple G they are similar styles. Canelo has more defense, but for fan friendly is Golovkin. He's stronger. I mean, I think Golovkin, not speed wise, but strength wise, obviously he's way stronger than Canelo. Canelo should fight Matthew's brother. Well, Ricky had his brother again. You know what I mean?
When you say he's easy work, do you think you can knock out Canelo?
I mean, when I was Canelo's mandatory, he was running for me for years when I was with Top Rank. So if he was who he was, if you look at Triple G, he's never ducked anybody in his life, right? But Canelo's been ducking people. I was his mandatory when I first saw Ramon at Staples Center. He didn't fight me, you were there, and he didn't fight me after that fight. So it says a lot about him, you know, but it also says a lot about me. I want to fight him. I never said no to nobody.
Do you think he took Golovkin's power well?
Well, we don't know what he was on in that fight, so yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to let him get ready.